Come on, bitch, let's go. Come on, get ready, bitches. You haven't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Valentino, Versace, Lamborghini, Bugatti. I got money to burn. I'm single and I'm naughty.
Come on.
Tiffany's, Cartier, Gucci on Marty.
Come on.
Break out your black card, boys. It's time to party.
Well. Another week, another adventure for all of us. I will say that for those of you who are listening to this as free people out on all listening platforms and YouTube, I did do a 1 hour bonus audio with all the receipts related to the gossip that I was sent to do with Whitney Rose's Alibaba jewelry and some of her mitigation that she's doing now on the show is really funny because the person who sent me the gossip about the Alibaba, who I do the whole breakdown of, the receipts and why I think it is who it is and everything for this bonus audio last Tuesday. If you're in the Patreon, you'll be able to easily find it because I'm going to do a collection for this particular drama that has happened with all this. It's going to be the Whitney Rose is a Liar collection. The shade. Anyway, what I wanted to tell you is that it's all in there and everybody who listens to it's like, yes, bang on. And I did put a note in the description of that bonus audio. If you missed it, make sure you read it. I had a lot of people from the previous cast listen to it and give me their opinion after they heard it. And they all kind of agree with me. Just saying. And I did post a really interesting receipt in the chat messages that might interest the people that were invested in the rant and raves that people were doing to do with an incident a long time ago in influencer land. If you don't know, then don't worry about it. If you do know, you might want to go in the chat and start reading upwards. I swear the chat's getting better than Reddit at this point. All right, so let's now do today's show. I am preempting it with all of this because I wanted to tell you that I got some additional gossip out of some of the people that I asked to listen to the show, and they did share some additional intel with me that I want to share with you. So first and foremost, I want to let you guys know that in this bonus audio, I talk about all the messages from back when the show was originally formed that were sent to me by the account that sent me the Whitney Rose Alibaba jewelry gossip. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is that that person actually was so invested in Whitney Rose's Alibaba jewelry scandal that they noticed that Whitney Rose had actually changed the description on her Prism jewelry page to say that we curate our jewelry from Asia. But she added that after the fact. And I actually have a text message showing that happened. And I'm going to post that in the Patreon with this episode because I think you guys should read that one. It's pretty funny because this person was really invested in making sure that I knew that Whitney Rose not only was trying to cheat people with this huge markup on junky jewelry from Alibaba, but was also trying to mitigate and did all these things to mitigate it real time after my video came out on YouTube about it. And so I thought that was pretty funny given what's going on in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, there's something you should note in addition, which is this account actually sent me another piece of gossip, actually so much gossip, some of which I never released. And I only released it on this bonus audio as I was reading it to people to explain who it was that sent the gossip or who they were. Because there was obviously someone writing it, someone pushing the agenda forward, and someone spilling the tea, which was pretty obvious when you read all the receipts together. So you should definitely go listen to that. But needless to say, one of the pieces of gossip that was written in a lot of gossip that only an insider would know was that Lisa Barlow did nose candy from time to time. Well, oh my goodness, I got some tea about this, but I'm not going to tell you till we're in the Patreon. So we're going to hold on that for a second. But don't worry, as soon as we get in, like literally the first minute, I'll tell you. So Reality Diamond Freddie ends up calling me when this episode drops too, because he listened to it to get all the receipts about it. And, you know, we talked about it, and he also agreed with me with my assessment based on his intel, because he's pretty wise to, you know, the gossip landscape. He's been in the gossip landscape longer than me even. So Reality Diamond Freddie was in the UK, and he was like, you know what is really wild? And I said, what? And he said, did you know that Hey You just did a special event for, you know, fans of the different shows? And that's where they announced The Real Housewives of London, which is coming out next year. And he's like, I'm not sure yet if it's coming out on Bravo or if it's just going to be streamed on Hey You, and there'll be some link with Bravo, or maybe not at all. But basically, Freddie was like, that was the big announcement of that Hey You event. And he's like, by the way, it was a little bit disorganized. The fans felt like a little bit confused about it and what was happening. And he said, so that was kind of unfortunate. But he said, you won't believe who was there. The only Real Housewives of Salt Lake City person who was there. And I said, who? And he said, Lisa Barlow. And I said, boy, that must really piss the women off that they weren't selected to do the UK Hey You trip. And so he was like, yeah, probably, I would say so. Now, Andy Cohen did some social media with Lisa Barlow at this Hey You little event or whatever, and he was posting it and promoting her too. So she's as close to ever with daddies, just so everybody knows. So this was the first ever Hey You Bravo festival event, so it was a pretty big deal. And they chose Lisa Barlow. Now they also chose Sutton Strack, Ashley from Real Housewives of Potomac, and Jessel from Real Housewives of New York. Let me play you something from the panel. You might take note of what Lisa Barlow says at this Hey You event. Play you also what Sutton says too, just for fun.
I didn't know that I could sit on this stage and talk to all of you, be on television. So I think that that's really what I've learned. I've become a better friend. I've become a better mother.
I learned to turn my mic off if I want to vent. I've also learned I have boundaries. I feel like the show has taught me a lot about boundaries. And I don't like being lied about.
So Lisa Barlow was a target this season 5, and they used Whitney Rose to take Lisa Barlow out. So it's interesting that she keeps saying, I don't like to be lied about. That's because she is actually telling the truth for once, and she's being very vindicated on this one. Now, this is important for you guys to know. When this was all going down back in February, Whitney Rose and I were communicating with each other. And she said to me, wait a minute, it isn't Lisa Barlow that did all this gossip. I really thought it was. And I said, no, it wasn't Lisa Barlow who sent this gossip. So I was interested in seeing if Whitney Rose on the show was going to correct the mistake that she made by throwing Lisa Barlow under the bus in the car scene. Because Whitney and I were speaking right after she did that car scene that we see on the show where she's talking to Up and Adam, which she doesn't even plug his show in, which is so ridiculous, Whitney. I mean, really, you couldn't say Adam's show name in it. And I actually backed that up to Whitney Rose as well. I also told Whitney Rose that her MLM thing was a scam and that she shouldn't do it. And then she tried to gaslight me with a bunch of crap that it wasn't a pyramid scheme and this and that. And I was like, I don't believe you. Everything is saying it is. Here's a million things I can show you. Like either you're, dumb and you're doing it because you're dumb, in which case I wouldn't blame you for it. That's why I'm alerting you about it. Or you are actually being complicit while these people that have conned people in past MLMs take more money from people, in the new company that you've changed from Whitney Rose Skincare to Soul Skincare or whatever. And I was like, you have an obligation not to do this now because I've told you. And then she was like, no, no, it's great. It's great. And I was like, I've told you. And if I find out that people have been ripped off, I'm going to talk about it. So a bunch of people shortly after this all goes down, I start posting stuff on my social media about it because it was a pyramid scheme. And a bunch of people were really upset about the way they were handling the business side of things. Now, what's good is when these people that were in Soul Skincare or whatever started to huff and puff on social media and scream that they weren't getting their refunds back and that events were being suddenly canceled in really weird ways. And it was taking a while to get their money. And they were sort of like, what am I involved in? This thing has really gotten sketchy. And I feel like spirituality is being misused in it. This is what they said. Okay. Then I was like, look, I absolutely had said that if I felt like people were going to be taken advantage of, that I was going to start talking about it. Thus why I've talked about it so much on my show, because I really hope that people don't lose their money in MLMs, especially this MLM. So anyway, imagine my surprise when I watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, episode 6. And I know that Whitney Rose knows it isn't Lisa Barlow who leaked the gossip to me. And because we've now discussed it, and she decides to come at Lisa Barlow at a party like she doesn't know the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she acknowledges the fact that she's hearing me and that, I'm saying it isn't Lisa Barlow, and I tell her all these reasons. Now, there's a part of the text messages that I am missing, which I will tell you what they are, but you have to take my word for it because she blocked me and I only have some of our text exchange, not the whole thing, unfortunately. Why did I take a few screenshots? Well, because I wanted to share them with Adam from Up and Adam. Thankfully, I did take a few screenshots, but in reality, I should have taken the whole thing, but I didn't. Damn it. But here's the thing. She says to me, the person you think it is, I kind of know it is too. And that I can't prove to you guys, but she does say it. But what was shocking is that she went on to shoot an event knowing that it wasn't Lisa Barlow and came this hard at Lisa Barlow. I'm going to play it for you in a minute. But then I remembered, of course, that Whitney Rose has not had real storylines the last 2 seasons and really needed this storyline. But in addition to that, she's always hated Lisa Barlow. And the Patreons know that I've been saying that she used to bond with Heather on this common enemy. And then things went P-tong because Whitney Rose was afraid of losing her spot. So she realized she had to become her own person and she couldn't be just like Heather Gay's sidekick because she wasn't going to last on the show. So she basically turns on Heather and becomes friends with Lisa Barlow for a season to kind of get through the season, which kept her safe. But at the same time, that really upset Heather Gay, who really believed Whitney was her friend and they had that common enemy, and she couldn't believe that she did what she did and betrayed Heather for Lisa on the show. And this started a real feud behind the scenes between Whitney Rose and Heather Gay, which we see play out a little bit on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip because they can't really hide it at that point. Now, at this point, they can hide it. And I do think that Heather Gay and Meredith probably took great joy that Whitney Rose was going to be the one to bring Lisa Barlow down with a little puppeteering from them. The thing that backfired on everybody in this scheme was that they didn't expect me to not want to give Shed Media my clip because I didn't get paid for it. I guess they forgot I was burnt on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and I have a pretty good memory. Okay, just saying. And maybe they weren't aware that I was in product placement. I was one of the top product placement agents in LA for a period of time, for a few years back when the independents were king. You know those days, Sideways, Crash, etc. So they didn't know my background and that I wouldn't just go, yeah, sure, oh my God, thank you so much for giving me exposure. I mean, I have enough exposure. I was just used in the presidential campaign by one of the candidates to announce how many votes they had gotten in one area. I don't need more exposure. Thank you very much. I'm not even political and I'm being used for everything at this point. I think Bridgerton used my face for the announcement of 25 billion people watching their show or some shit. Anyway, so I don't need exposure, guys. Like, you know, people will find me that are of like mind. But here's the thing, right? That was a mistake. But the other thing that was a big mistake is I like Meredith and Heather. I don't have any relationship with Lisa Barlow, and I was indifferent to Whitney Rose until she started to kind of be sketchy. And so the reality is all they had to do was tell me their plan, and I would never have said a word, and they would have been protected. But because they didn't include me in the plan, well, all bets are off. And even though I love these women, I think they're great for their individual qualities and characteristics, Lisa Barlow and Heather Gay, if you're not going to include me in the plan, it's open season because then it's my turn too. In chess, everybody who participates, if they're not going to collaborate, gets a move. And I made mine. Now let me play you Whitney Rose and what she says to Lisa Barlow on the show, even though she knows it's not Lisa Barlow, at the time that she's shooting.
This year, I guess this is a step forward, but I will say that Mob Wives is a strange theme to me to celebrate your anniversary. I don't really see it as an expression of love, but I guess this is how she celebrates her family. You gotta deal with Lisa. Like, you have to talk to her. You have to.
I will. I'm planning on it.
Well, cheers to that. Let's get that done. I'll feel a lot better. I don't like being like in the middle of that, you know?
Okay, that's kind of funny, right? Meredith's like egging it on. Oh, I don't want to be in the middle's the reason. Oh, jeez. No, I just want to start it with Heather, but not be in the middle of it for sure.
And you'll feel better.
Yeah.
We'll all feel better.
Trust me, I do not like this feeling.
I bet she doesn't like this feeling because she knows at this point that she's incorrectly said that Lisa Barlow did the gossip, and it's for sure. And now she's like, oh shit, how is this going to bite me in the ass later? But I have to stay on this trajectory, I guess, because she doesn't know what else to do. Because now she's in this storyline and the producers are into it and she can't backtrack. Or can she? She could have, but she chooses not to. And why is that? Because she doesn't like Lisa Barlow deep down inside. She pretends to be her friend on the show.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Your situation with Lisa is, but I do feel like Heather starts little fires and then kind of backs away and watches them burn.
I don't appreciate that Heather did that. She fully is like up Lisa's ass right now.
Well, and she understood that you felt sad by your friendship with Lisa breaking down. She wouldn't be fueling that breakdown by taking one thing you said that felt spicy and running to Lisa with it.
Yes.
She wouldn't.
No.
I don't like that Heather's been talking behind Angie's back, especially when Heather has hung me out to dry for everything that's come out of my mouth. It did feel like she was pushing you two not getting along. So I think everybody should pay for what they've said.
Well, that's an interesting statement that we just saw in last week's episode, given what I said about the Alibaba gossip and who sent it to me, isn't it?
Are we good? Because I feel like you were jumping in on me for a second too. I hated it when we went ziplining.
No, this is just my thing, Lisa. Like, if I get into it with somebody, you're automatically going to take that person's side. You champion body positivity, and now that's a lie too.
Why are we saying she's a liar? Because she said body positivity is a lie. She didn't say I was lying about it. No, I felt for Heather in the moment because I feel like you were bringing up stuff that really hurt her.
It's not jiving with me that she's leaving trails of lies.
But I think she felt hurt. And she was trying to express that to you.
What are you guys talking about?
I was just saying, we were talking about our conversation when we were ziplining. Yeah.
Everywhere you drop and everywhere you stop, it's a lie.
That's extremely hurtful.
Okay, well, I'm not saying it hurt you. Then stop doing it.
Extremely hurtful.
Stop doing it.
You tell me when I've lied.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
So if I tell you the truth, facts of you on you, you say it's a lie.
We're not going to speak on the truth right now, okay?
Oh, don't push me. I have been a good friend.
Don't push me. You're a liar.
You're a liar.
You guys, wait a minute. We'll take it to God. Ask God.
God knows.
Yeah, he does know. And he knows all about you.
Lying seems to be a theme this season. Again. Based on the gossip that I said about who sent me the tea to do with the Alibaba and Whitney Rose, I ask you to hear that clip and think about that for a minute. Why would Mary suddenly call out that Heather is a liar? What does she know? Well, I have a feeling whatever she knows came from Monica, so just know that. Monica, you're so funny. So if you're still not convinced that it's Heather Gay, Tanisha, and a little Meredith sprinkled on top, okay, listen to this.
Heather wants to look like the good guy, so she's acting all wide-eyed and innocent. Like, why would I have shared this? Why did you share it? It's so messy of Heather to be meddling in their relationship. And if you believe Heather is not meddling, bitch, neither am I.
So now here is my crescendo. I want to demonstrate to you that Whitney Rose, even though I'd already told her it wasn't Lisa Barlow who sent me the Alibaba gossip, 100%, and she seems to agree with me in our text message exchange at that time. And she kind of says, oh, I think I know who you think it is, and I think I kind of believe you, basically. Listen to what she does anyway, because the train has already left the station.
So the Milwaukee, are you aware that you left your sunray behind?
The necklace.
The necklace I gifted you.
Yeah, I accidentally left it in my room.
It was an accident?
It was a total accident.
You brought the information about Prism that was posted to the group.
What's the problem?
I had someone who knows that account reach out to them.
Okay.
And they verified that you were the one that fed the information.
I did not do that. I did not do that, Whitney. Don't accuse me of something that you're going to have to apologize.
You did.
Okay, you're asking me or are you accusing me? Because it feels like you're accusing me.
It down to you.
It's not me, Whitney. It's not me.
Who is that yelling?
It's not true. It's not true. I did not DM that account and I did not talk about your business. You're getting your bad information from someone that's bullshit.
So it's bad.
It's bad information.
So when you're mad at me, you don't go plant stories.
I don't. Nothing to do with me.
That if you planted
I am so.
and I want you to know how.
Who is it? Because I'm going to sue him. Tell me who said it. I'm going to sue him because it's a lie. You trust that person, but not me.
Little girl, you're f***ing gullible. Like, maybe if you had to actually make your jewelry, you wouldn't have time to fabricate this shit.
You know what? The last time we left each other, you texted me and said you love me. That's the last time I heard from you.
Lisa, that's why this f***ing hurts.
I didn't do it to you!
Well, if it seemed like Lisa was overly activated and Whitney was very relaxed during the whole scene, it's because Whitney knows she's lying and Lisa is really upset for two reasons. Number one, she really didn't do it. And number two, that she realizes that Whitney Rose is trying to set her up to be the next Monica Garcia to the fans with Reality Von Teese. So in other words, Lisa is the biggest hypocrite to the fans if she was the one spilling this gossip, because isn't that what Reality Von Teese did? And wasn't Lisa coming so hard for Monica at the reunion and then after the reunion in the press? So wouldn't that make her the biggest a-hole hypocrite ever if she was doing it the whole time, then also pretending like she wasn't and coming and judging Monica so harshly? And Lisa realizes at this moment what the cast is setting her up to be and fall, and she's pissed because she actually didn't do it. But beyond that, she realizes the setup that she's supposed to be the next Monica Garcia, and the hypocrisy of it all is being pointed at her. So that is why this scene goes so far off the rails. And that's the behind the scenes. Okay, so there you go. And you know what? I really wish that Lisa Barlow would hire her cybersecurity guy, which I'm sure is not real, but I hope he is. And I would love her to find out who was behind the account, who I think it is, as you well know, is Heather Gay, Tanisha, and Meredith with sprinkles on top. But I would love that confirmed. Beyond the 1 hour of receipts I dropped in my bonus audio on Tuesday. So Lisa Barlow, have your cybersecurity guy reach out to me. Once I vet him and know that you really hired him, I will give you the information of the account so you can have him figure it out, which I don't think he can do because he has to reach out to Instagram. But maybe you and your 10 lawyers that you have on speed dial might be able to figure it out.
I don't know how you feel because you're making it up.
Potentially one of my
You're making it up. Hey, Sean, I need an investigation open happened. I'm being accused of doing something I did not do. I'm going to send you information, and I want to go the distance on it. The distance. Whitney's accusing me of doing something I did not do, so I want you to get the police involved, because it's my character, and go the distance on this. Get the LA police involved, everything.
Honey, you did not pass art or math or geometry or anything else. You should not be anywhere near dots because you are not good at connecting them.
I'm lying.
Do it, Lisa.
Yeah.
Do it.
You know what? Every time I think we're friends, you up.
Lisa can yell and scream all she wants. That just shows me that she knows I caught her.
So to be clear, Whitney is asking me in our DMs because I am the influencer, blogger, freaking ex-Real Housewives of Beverly Hills chick, did you know 25,000, whatever the hell you want to call me, person that was the one who received the information from the person that she thinks is Lisa Barlow. To be clear, nobody else. So there it is, okay? Whitney and I wouldn't have had the conversation otherwise. And so what I'm trying to say is, even with that information, her knowing that it wasn't Lisa at this time, look how hard she comes in that statement. Like, it's shocking. I couldn't lie like that even for TV. That's crazy.
Actually, you know what, Whitney? Stop fabricating things. I don't know what to believe. Why? You lie about everything.
Well, turns out Whitney's a fucking liar. And I don't think this is going to sell her jewelry because it's a bunch of Chinese junk. All right. There's my spirituality for the day. Boy, you're a liar, Whitney. A dirty liar. That's why you got a collection dedicated to you and your lies. So it's really funny because I guess some podcasts have been falsely reporting that I said that Lisa Barlow was the person who sent me the gossip, which obviously is based on the narrative of the show. And of course, you guys know since the minute that this came out, I've been saying, actually you can go in my posts on my Instagram, Wilkie_Dana, and in my post you will see where I wrote the same day that the episode drops, it is not Lisa Barlow. And tried to get the word out. But, you know, what are you going to do? People don't want to listen. But yeah, that's all false. If you see anybody saying that, please tell them in the comments that's not true. Let's talk about the nose candy. So I was speaking to some friends of mine that I still have in Salt Lake City, and I brought up the gossip that I was sent by the account about Lisa Barlow and the nose candy. For the full scoop, join the Dishing Drama Dana Patreon. The link is in this audio description. It's only $6 a month, and you'll get the best information and tea about the things you care about, and even the things you don't know you care about. What are you waiting for?